If you thought night one was great, and I thought night one was very good, night two was exponentially better than night one. For my money, my single favorite night of professional wrestling ever. Now, I have never watched an AEW pay-per-view, and I know those are really fun in terms of wrestling, but this gave me an entertainment value unlike anything that I've seen before. Just anything. And it was match after match that just delivered. And it started off with Drew McIntyre defeating Seth Rollins to finally become World Heavyweight Champion. The entrances for this match were phenomenal. We had Drew coming out without Broken Dreams. I was hoping we would get Broken Dreams back, but can't have everything. We have some new themes tonight that I will definitely touch on. Def Rebel needs to go. Like, they need to go. We got Drew coming out, bunch of swords. We got some Scotsmen. Seth Rollins. Sometimes I struggle to take him seriously because of just how sheerly extravagant he is. I mean, it was like Mardi Gras. I mean, you would thought it was like a No Way Jose entrance the way stuff was going. He just brought out like a band that was dressed extremely extravagantly. And they just played his song, and then they partied around the ring with him. It was just as extravagant as he is. CM Punk is on commentary. There was going to be something more that happened. I knew that. This match went 10 minutes, and it was a finisher fest. My first thought when I was watching this match was, this is Brock and Roman from WrestleMania 34. We're just going to go out there and spam finishes. The second half of the match was phenomenal. It had great drama. The near fall of the night. Now, there were a lot of near falls in that main event, which was just beautiful. My favorite near fall of the night is right when the bell rings, McIntyre hits a Claymore on Seth right out the gate. And I genuinely thought that was the match. You have Seth beat up. And little did I know, Seth survived 3 Claymores. Now, I'm a fan of finisher kickouts. I think they had drama. But there's a point where it's too much. And I think in this match, we had way too many finisher kickouts. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the entrances were pretty cool. I thought just great eye catchers. The match itself, I thought was pretty good. I did think McIntyre was going to win, but it was went way longer than expected. I thought the end of the match, though, I honestly didn't see that coming. I was hoping for some surprise, and it did come. It's pretty surprised by Punk coming out and then having Damian Preist come out and use his money in the bank. I did not see that coming at all.
Yeah, so as you alluded to, Drew wins off of a 4th Claymore, which was way too much. I gave the match 3 3/4. Great drama, way too many kickouts, but that's a story for another day of if finishers should be kicked out in wrestling. I don't think they should. I think maybe 1, then you're done. But this was a little bit too heavy on the finishers. And after the match, Drew McIntyre, right? He wins a title. Huge pop from the crowd. If you were watching, you would think that he was a great babyface the way the crowd reacted to him. And then he goes over to CM Punk, and I'm like, okay, something's definitely going to happen here. Because I'd heard rumors of a Priest cash-in. And then CM Punk just gets out of the brace. Apparently, he tore his tricep at the Royal Rumble, and he looks perfectly fine. Even on Raw the next night, he looks perfectly fine. I'm expecting him to be back now, maybe even by Money in the Bank. He takes out McIntyre, blows a kiss to McIntyre's wife. Oh, by the way, during the match, Drew McIntyre grabs his wife's phone and tweets, bored at work, LOL. Mid-match, bro is tweeting, bored at work. Great spot because his Twitter game, his social media game has been on point. And then later he responds to that. It was a great spot by him to include that in the match. Priest cashes in the contract, stop the heaven, 1, 2, 3, new World Heavyweight Champion. McIntyre's gotta be winning the title back in Scotland, you would think. It's Clash in the Castle. It's in Scotland, his home country. Can finally beat Priest. And on Raw, Jey Uso won the number 1 contenders match. We're going to be getting Uso Priest at Backlash, which should be great. I'm expecting Jimmy to cost Jey the match. But what do you think the Drew McIntyre CM Punk World Heavyweight Championship situation is going to look like going forward?
I think I mean, they honestly set it up really well to have them fight. But I think what's going to happen is I think also at Clash of the Castle, they're going to go against each other because they already have it set off. And I think McIntyre is going to win. Obviously, I think Homeland would make sense. I don't really see McIntyre losing that. It
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, exactly. It's a really great feud though. Just kind of saw it coming, kind of didn't, but it's set up pretty well.
Yeah, I think we will have CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam, but then the Seth situation at WrestleMania. This World Heavyweight Championship Love Triangle has just been brilliant, and the promos, everything has been top-notch. Next up, a very, very divisive match. It's a 6-man tag team Philadelphia street fight. We had Snoop Dogg on commentary. He was just freaking brilliant. Bubba Ray Dudley was a special guest referee. Podcasters, you'll love to see the representation at WrestleMania. Before I give my opinions, what did you think of the match?
I thought the match was okay. I mean, I did like it was kind of the main, just kind of celebrity one with Bubba Ray and then Snoop Dogg. I mean, definitely not my favorite of the night. I thought could be a lot better, but it kind of did what it needed to do, which is the celebrity match. Just kind of have a bunch of famous people out there.
Yeah, I think my one problem with this match is the action was great. The booking was a little bit iffy because you have the AOP get taken out about 4 minutes into the match with a tope by Montez over the top rope. They never come back, which makes the last 4 minutes 3 4-on-1 at times, a burial of Karrion Kross. On NXT, we're recording this on Wednesday, the AOP just laid out Axiom and Nathan Fraser, who won the NXT Tag Team Championships. So now we've got these guys down at NXT where they're going to be doing some great work. You've given Bobby Lashley his WrestleMania win, which he deserves above all. But this match, my one thing I couldn't stop thinking when watching it was, you're burying Karrion Kross. Now, it makes sense because he's in NXT, but I gave it 2 3/4. I didn't think it was anything special. It was all it needed to be. Celebrity match. Snoop Dogg should be on commentary a little bit more. I think he was hilarious with some of the stuff he was saying. Great match all in all. Did a job as the car wreck. Next up, LA Knight defeating AJ Styles. 12 minutes. A fine match. Nothing much to say here. We didn't start a blood feud with a collar and elbow tie-up, which is what I like. No special entrances. Oh, AJ Styles got a new theme song. Def Rebel needs to go, dude. They can't make music that suits wrestlers. I was hoping for Evil Ways. I was hoping for Broken Dreams. We didn't get any of that. It was just, for the large part, a fine match. LA Knight wins. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty forgettable. I mean, definitely thought LA Knight was going to win. Just, the whole entire crowd just is into him, like, for a while now. I think it's pretty great because I forget how long ago, but, like, when he came to WWE, he was, like,
Max Dupree was the name.
That's what it was.
The leader of a freaking modeling agency. Like, what the hell? This guy is phenomenal. And he's the leader of a modeling agency.
Yeah, they didn't use him, but now they did, and I think it was pretty great turnaround now. Like, everybody loves him. I think he has the biggest crowd support out of probably WWE, in my opinion. And, I mean, in the match, though, it was good. I mean, I didn't think it was the best match in the world, but besides that.
To think that AJ Styles had such a good run in New Japan and his 2 best WrestleMania matches are against Shane McMahon and LA Knight says a lot about that guy. Him and Nakamura, they can't perform on pay-per-views, but it was a fine match. I mean, yeah. There's nothing really much to say. Thank God that Vince McMahon left. He was going to release Gunther. He was going to release LA Knight. 2 of the most popular guys right now. Thank goodness he left. So next up, we have the first half of the show was fine, right? I thought every match did its job. The second half of the show was freaking incredible. We have a triple threat United States Championship match. Logan Paul defeating Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. 17 minutes. That was a freaking brilliant match. Non-stop action. Logan Paul got an entrance on like a Prime car, I guess.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Yeah, the Prime bottle. We'll touch on that later. I would love if every year we just get a new celebrity in the Prime bottle. I think that's phenomenal.
Who was last year?
Last year was KSI.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And if Logan Paul keeps bringing on his media buddies, I think that's perfectly fine. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton got a cool card entrance. Kevin Owens was hyped up by Sami Zayn the same way Kevin hyped up Sami on his way to the ring. Great stuff there. This match was nonstop action from the get-go. We had a cool moment between Kevin and Randy where we just said, let's fight. We're going to be friends, but we have to realize we're going to fight each other. We had a kick out of the brass knucks. I mean, Randy Orton kicked out of the brass knucks. KO kicked out of the RKO. And this match had so many good near falls. And the best part, I Show Speed is in the Prime bottle. He gets kicked by Randy, and then Randy starts barking at him, gives him an RKO on the announce table. This match was so much fun. I gave it 4.5 stars. It didn't overstay its welcome. We got a great finish, everything it needed to be. As you can say what you want about Logan Paul. He isn't the best dude in real life, but he is a great professional wrestler. And we have to acknowledge what he's doing for this company is really, really good. And he's still a United States champion, and this match was great.
Yeah, no, it was, I really enjoyed the match. It was pretty fun. I think I always liked the incorporation of the brass knuckles. It's been there for a while now. I think also with Logan Paul, like, I didn't think much of him when he first came to WWE. I thought it was just like, okay, it's another celebrity. He'll do okay. But he's, like, through, like, a lot of the pay-per-views, he's been doing, like, really well. And he's a pretty fun wrestler to watch. And then I don't know, the incorporation of having Aisha Speed in the Prime bottle was pretty awesome. Like, I think it got, you could say, a younger audience kind of into it, whether they watch WWE or not, because they probably saw that on social media. And I thought it was great publicity for him. And I thought it was a pretty exciting match.
Yeah, it was a great match. And the first thing I thought was, next year, we got to get Mr. Beast in the Prime bottle. Like, let's be honest here. That would be a generational moment for this company.
It'd go huge.
It would be freaking amazing. Kevin and Randy, great in their own right. A little bit too much on the kick outside here. I mean, you got to protect the RKO, protect the brass knucks. It seems like we're going to Randy and Logan at SummerSlam. That should be a very, very fun match. Next up, the best traditional wrestling feud leading up to WrestleMania. Bayley versus Io Sky. This has been the culmination of Bayley putting everybody over for 2-3 years. She totally deserves this moment. And one of the things she deserved was her hugger theme. And instead they decided to Def Rebel her current theme. What are we doing here? I mean, Def Rebel really needs to go. I'm sorry, they changed Tiffany Stratton's theme. They changed Stephanie McMahon's theme. What are we doing here, guys? Anyway, great match. This is I don't think I speak of this match highly because it needed 2 more minutes. This match went 14 minutes, 22 seconds. 16, 17, we're looking at 5-star territory. I gave it 4.5 stars. Bayley gets her moment. I would have loved it with the Bayley the Belly, but she went with the Rose plant. Io reversing out of the Rose plant into a flip was really, really cool and something I did not think I would see. It's the best traditional wrestling feud. It felt like a Stardom match. We didn't have any damage control. It was just Bayley kicked out of the moonsault. What a freaking match.
It was, I really enjoyed that match. I thought pretty great with just kind of having Bayley versus Io. I think the whole entire, with Bayley switching over a couple years ago to this Death Rebel, still not a fan of it, don't like it. I kind of like the old theme better. But it still worked out pretty well. I mean, the match was pretty great. A lot of really cool moves in that match. And I think women's wrestling has been really great recently. And I think this is just another thing to add on to it.
Yeah, the representation of women has been great at WrestleMania. All 3 matches delivered in the ways that they should. I think from here on out, We need to see the full downfall of Damage Control. They are madly entertaining, but Io should separate. She's one of the best, if not the best, in-ring performer from the women's side. I need, desperately, because we got the draft coming up, Io versus Rhea. That match just seems like a SummerSlam quality match. And this was, it did its job. And then, this main event. Now, last year, right, it was my first time watching WrestleMania live. Cody Roman had me on the edge of my seat. 40 minutes, cinema from beginning to end. And when Cody got pinned, I was apprehensive to count 1, 2, 3. I was like, he's got to kick out, and he didn't. I was not a fan of the decision, but with Triple H in control, I was going to let it play out. I was so right to do that. Because time and time again, this Bloodline story is it is the greatest wrestling story of all time. To go 3 years, to never lose my interest, to have so many layers, so many story arcs, and we have a whole nother year of this because we're getting Roman Rock at Mania 41. This match was perfect. It wasn't the best technical wrestling match. The best straight-up wrestling match on the weekend was Gunther and Sammy. But this match was a car wreck. And before I get into my little match rundown, this match in 33 minutes, I was expecting it to go 50, which was really good. What did you think of the match?
No, that match was definitely probably was the best match I've ever seen in WWE. Even though, again, I don't think the wrestling was the most exciting part, just everything adding on to it made it the perfect match. I thought the whole entire 3 years of just Roman Reigns, who originally I thought was just a really boring guy, eventually just changed over to this tribal chief, and I thought it was one of the greatest storylines ever in WWE. I think later on I'll talk about Cody Rhodes and his story and how that was really great.
Yeah, I mean, it took a pandemic for us to get the Roman Reigns we always wanted. Babyface Roman may be one of the single worst, most overpushed characters in WWE history. We finally get this heel turn. It's everything we expected. And before I get into this match, because most of this match is about Cody Rhodes, we talk about this new era, this Renaissance era is what I like calling it. WWE's going to call it the Triple H era because Cody Rhodes filed to trademark the Renaissance era, forcing WWE to call it the Triple H era, but it is the Renaissance era. Without Roman Reigns, genuinely, we are not in the place we are with professional wrestling. I give credit. I started watching professional wrestling in 2020. Clash of Champions was my first pay-per-view I was kind of in a setting for. I give credit to two people for getting me into wrestling. First, Roman Reigns. The stories. Just such a natural storyteller. What he does as a character is second to none. And second would be Bray Wyatt. The Fiend really was just... It's probably my favorite character in WWE history. And watching that documentary, it was beautiful. Beautiful. Rest in peace, Bray. One of... Taken away from us so early, got me into professional wrestling, and I'll forever be thankful for him for that. And we have to acknowledge the fact that Roman Reigns has gotten us to the place that we are in professional wrestling. He has. As a leader, as a champion, the aura he exudes, the matches he has, while in the latter part of his reign, has gotten a little bit repetitive. It's still a big deal. And this match was no different. So I've given Roman Reigns my flowers. You can give Cody Rhodes his flowers now.
All right. So Cody Rhodes, I think, without his whole entire story, which is basically he is a side character with Goldust, doesn't do much. Eventually, he just leaves. He's tired with WWE, doing nothing with him. Then he goes and just starts in, I think it's Ring of Honor he goes to, which is many levels down. And then eventually creates, with help of a couple other people, including Young Bucks.
Who they showed in the video package. In the opening video package to this match, they showed Kenny. They showed the Bucks. They did.
Yeah. and creates AEW. Just after a while, he just doesn't like it. Comes back to WWE, and then just becomes this great superstar. I don't think if Cody Rhodes never left WWE, I don't think he'd be here. Like, I think he'd either get let go or he just would be still just some kind of like side character that just makes money off of like T-shirts or ads. I think. I mean, even though it was really risky of him to do it, I think he came out with the best possible scenario ever.
He was trending towards R-Truth territory with that Stardust, Goldust, that character he was portraying. To go to AEW, to really just turn into this guy undesirable to unfreaking deniable. That is something that I will forever give him credit for. And showing Kenny, showing the Bucks in the video package, we have recorded this before Dynamite, and tonight on Dynamite, the Young Bucks will show the backstage footage of CM Punk at All In attacking Jack Perry. This was WWE's kind of middle finger to them, saying, we can show these guys because we're authorized to before you show your guys. The video package to this match was great. The entrances. Cody comes out of the Cody Vader after we see like tarnished American Nightmare flags as the American Nightmare with the mask. And then Brandy comes out, and for the first time ever, WWE, they mention Brandy a lot. They actually used Brandy Rhodes on television. The pop she got was phenomenal. Go to the normal theme, and then Roman. He doesn't normally do special entrances, but this was cinema. Start to finish. This entire segment was phenomenal. Roman's entrance, you got an orchestra playing it. It was phenomenal, right?
Yeah, that was I really liked those entrances. I did not think Roman Reigns would come out with that. I thought he'd just come out with like his music, but it'd just be a great atmosphere. But I thought having an orchestra play his intro music, I thought was really cool.
Yeah, it was. So this match is a tale of two halves. But unlike the Night 1 main event, the first half of this match is very convicting. These two guys, Roman and Cody, have great chemistry. We've known that for a very long time. Their match last year gets overshadowed by the ending that people don't like. It's not bad booking, it's just an end that people don't like. And they have undeniable chemistry in the ring, and I someday do hope we get Roman Cody 3, maybe with Cody being the guy to retire Roman Reigns from the company. The first half of this match is chaos, to say the least. It was a car wreck. It was no rest holds, which thank God we don't start a Roman Reigns with a stare down and 5 minutes of rest holds. They just went 1,000 miles an hour from the beginning. We had Roman use the crossroads on Cody. Cody kicks out, and then in a great little bit of foreshadowing, Roman says, that move never did anything to anybody. That move sucks. Great bit of foreshadowing right there. And a little bit of cockiness from Roman, who kept the trash talking into this new era, not the pandemic era. Your thoughts on the first half of the match, which was a very good 20 minutes.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good 20 minutes too. I thought it was pretty exciting. I mean, they went off like out of the ring for a very little bit. I mean, they just did a cool move like onto like a table or whatever. And then I was kind of glad he didn't use a lot of like other foreign objects. He only used like the Kango stick for a little bit. And I thought it made the match for me way more intriguing because it's just all wrestling. It's no just like stupid just using chairs or whatever to hit each other and just damage them. I thought it just made it more raw and just way better.
This was the perfect way to utilize weapons. Don't use them too much, but enhance the match with the weapons. Then all hell breaks loose. I very rarely stand during a wrestling match when I'm not in attendance. I stood for the second half of this match in my house at 9:30 because I was so hyped, right? So we get Jimmy coming out. We're going to hit the Crossroads Trinity from Cody, right? Jimmy comes out, super kick. Jay comes out to a huge pop. They brawl, And then Jay spears Jimmy off the stage through a table. It was a phenomenal spot. They go for a little bit longer. And then Solo comes out. Yay, yay, yay. So Cody's now hit 4 crossroads on Roman, and he's always going for that third in each set. There's 1 or 2 critiques I have in this match, and one of them comes right here. Instead of having Cody kick out of the Spike Spear combo, which was a great false finish in its own right, mirror the exact finish from last year, and have Cody kick out of that set of moves. Have Solo spike him in the corner, Roman hits the spear the exact same way he did, Cody kicks out. I think that would have added a lot more to the match than a spike, kick out, spike, spear, combo, kick out. I think that's great. And then John Cena is next. And Cena neutralizes Solo with an AA through the table. Great stuff, because they have the crown jewel history and makes sense. And then The Rock comes out, and at this point, we're just pop after pop after pop. Just so much fun. And the look on Cena's face when Rock comes out is like, oh my God, this dude again. They mirror the face-off from once, twice in a lifetime, now thrice in a lifetime with these guys in the ring. Rock hits a rock bottom on Cena. He's about to whoop. Oh no. The Shield's music hits. And I kid you not for a second, I thought Jon Moxley was going to come out.
I thought so, too.
I thought Moxley was going to come out, and I was so hyped. I was like, John and Seth. It's just Seth. And an underlying thing in this feud was Seth is going to be Cody's shield. In this match, he was Cody's shield. So he comes out with a chair. Rock hits him. Steel chair, rock bottom. He's got the Mama Rhodes belt in his hand. He's about to whoop Cody. And then the gong hits. Undertaker shows up. He chokeslams The Rock. This is my second critique. It should have been Stone Cold.
I agree. No,
Stone Cold and The Rock. It would have been perfect, but I think it does make a lot of sense. I think the one thing that took it away was how do we get Stone Cold out of the equation. The Undertaker obviously disappears. And then everybody's down. How did you think the interference part of this match went?
I thought they executed it perfectly. I thought, starting out with this Jay versus Jimmy Uso just from the night before, I thought it was great to kind of move up from the not pretty bad match yesterday, or I guess you could say Saturday. But I did not know where they were going, like, off the stage. I was like, what? And then it was still amazing move with that spear. I think then coming next was with Solo with John Cena. I thought that's when Stone Cold was going to come out. I don't know why, but I thought he would, like, stay in the ring for a little bit.
Yeah.
I did see, in, like, general, I did see how, like, one person's going to come out from the bloodline and another person on Cody's side. I did see that happening. This is not in that way. And then I think coming to the end with the Undertaker, again, should have been Stone Cold, but it was still perfect. It was so funny to see him chokeslam The Rock.
It was a weak chokeslam.
It was, though. The Rock probably could have got out of that, but I also thought it was pretty funny how after the lights go off, you don't see the Undertaker, but you also don't see The Rock.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Dragged him into the abyss. No, and the interferences were perfect. It was not overbooked to the extreme. And then this is my favorite part of the match. Roman's got the Mama Rhodes belt. And he's got the steel chair. And he's got Seth and he's got Cody. Picks up the steel chair and hits Seth. Seth sells it just the way Roman did when they broke up the Shield. This is when we talk about wrestling being cinema. This was cinema. And then Cody hits 3 crossroads on Roman. I counted 1, 2. I didn't count 3. I totally thought Roman was going to kick out because we're 30 minutes into the match. This is a bloodline match. We got to go 40, 45, 50, right? Cody finishes the damn story. What a match. This was peak professional wrestling. It wasn't Ospreay Omega. It wasn't, Omega Okada, 2 out of 3 falls, Tokyo Dome, 7 stars. This was the perfect WWE style match. It's 5 stars. It isn't anything below that. These two have undeniable chemistry. They didn't overbook the heck out of the match like I think they would have. It was perfection. From the video package to after the match, absolute wrestling perfection. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was just cinema too. It was just, they did everything perfect, executed it perfectly, and I didn't think there should be another way they should have done this match. I think every single thing they did in that match that happened made it perfect. Like, I thought I thought the match was going to go on longer. I did think Cody was going to win, but I think stopping it like at 30 minutes or so, I thought was like, no way, I think that's perfect. They did everything they needed to do in that match, have the right ending with Cody finishing the story, and yeah, no, that was just awesome.
It was peak professional wrestling. It was my favorite wrestling match I've ever watched. I've watched very little of it, but it's my favorite match that I've ever watched. I was so invested the entire way through. After the match, we get all the people who Roman has wronged. Cody hugged Brandy, gave the belt to Mama Rhodes. It was a beautiful moment that I don't think we're ever going to replicate because we're never going to have another Roman Reigns. We're never going to have another Roman Reigns with this long title reign. To see Roman smile when he was getting pinned, beautiful. Michael Cole's finished the story during the 1, 2, 3 was perfect. Michael Cole crying after the match was perfect. Samantha Irvin breaking down when announcing the winner was perfect. This was perfection.
That was perfect. I was like, everybody was just emotional there because, yes, even though it's not like wrestling isn't like the realest thing in the world, but like creating those storylines just builds so much character, and it just shows how much they've done in WWE like recently. I thought also at the end of it with the just kind of many cinematic shots of Cody with the belt, I thought were perfect. I thought it kind of just symbolized, okay, this is the end of the era. We're starting a new era after this, and I thought those were just, I thought those like shots and everything were beautiful. I thought, yeah.
It's hard to talk about this match in a limited time because I could go on and on. Honestly, just watch the match. I've watched it 3 times already. It just gets better every time because you realize more and more things they do every time. I don't like rewatching wrestling matches because you know what happens. This one is it's special. It is a moment that we have to appreciate and a moment that will never happen again. This WrestleMania was phenomenal. Night 2 of WrestleMania is the best WrestleMania of all time. Does Night 1 bring it down a tad?
A little bit.
Yes, it does. But if you average out the nights, this is the greatest WrestleMania of all time. There's an argument for X7, but nowhere do we get the great in-ring, the great storytelling, the start of a new era. And as much as I hate to say it, Cody finishing the story a year after was 10 times better. In a Bloodline Rules match that was chaos from the beginning, it was a great showcase of wrestling. And if you were watching wrestling for the first time, viewership was up 43%, 145,000 over 2 nights, 17 straight TV sellouts. Ladies and gentlemen, wrestling is cool. Wrestling is fun. It's perfect. It's the perfect mix of sports, entertainment. Wrestling is just great. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan. And I started it with the Michael Cole quote, and I will end it again. Thank you, Alex, for being on.
Yep.
And I think we can both say this. Damn it, we love professional wrestling.